Hey guys, what is up? This is Kendra with Signing Agent Basics. Excited to be live with you guys again here on YouTube. Y'all know how I do. I go live once a month on YouTube to talk with you guys about some different signing agent subjects every single month. Hopefully these lives have been helpful for you guys. And again, also, hopefully if you haven't been able to actually watch live, you guys have been going back to watch the replay. But you guys know I've been a signing agent now for over, 16 years, I think. Long time. And I've obviously learned many things over those years, things that I have learned by trial and error, things that I've messed up. And then I've gone back and figured out how to do it the right way. So I enjoy sharing information with you guys so that hopefully y'all don't make the same mistakes that I did and you can have a successful signing agent business and a successful career as a signing agent from the very start. So this month, this topic, I'm going to talk about mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars, real US money. And actually, I made this title before I really fleshed out exactly what I was going to talk about. So what really happened, guys, is I made one mistake, one mistake that cost me thousands of dollars. So we're going to talk about that in this video because obviously I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I made. But of course, guys, do me a favor first. If you are watching live or if you are watching this on the replay, hit that like button. That lets me know that you like these types of videos so I can keep making more of these videos for you. And then hit the subscribe button. Again, guys, I come out with videos for you guys every single month. So you want to be a subscriber so that you can see those videos. And then once you're a subscriber, make sure that you hit the notification bell. So that way you'll know when I'm going to go live, when I drop videos and all of that good stuff so that you won't miss any of the videos that I have for you each and every month. And as always, guys, I'm excited to find out where y'all are watching from. So do me a favor, whether you are watching this live, whether you are watching this on the replay, I want you to put some stuff down in the chat or down in the comments for me. Let me know what city and state you're in. Then let me know whether you are an aspiring signing agent, which means you haven't done any loan signings yet. You're maybe just checking out this whole loan signing agent thing. Let me know if you are a new signing agent, meaning that you've only been a signing agent for a year or less. Or let me know if you are a veteran signing agent. You've been doing this signing agent thing for more than a year. So again, let me know what city and state you are from. And then let me know whether you are an aspiring signing agent, a new signing agent, or a veteran signing agent. Let's see what we've got here. We got people already saying hi. Ellen says hi. We've got folks here we got Tony from Jefferson, Georgia. We've got Brenda from Arlington. Ellen's letting us know that she's from Henderson, North Carolina. Brenda is a new signing agent, so been doing this thing for a year or less. We've got Rod watching from Portland. What's up, Rod? Rod is a new signing agent. We've got Mildred watching from Maryland, been a signing agent though since 2010. So she is a vet. Awesome. We've got Nancy down the street from me in Kyle, Texas, 3 years as a signing agent. We've got Angelica. She's actually a paralegal in Brooklyn. Guys, keep on telling me where you are from. I'm excited to see each and every one of you. And then look, I need you guys to also do me a favor. I need y'all to be my assistant every time on every live. Somebody always comes in a little bit late and they're like, oh man, I'm late. Is there going to be a replay? But of course, guys, y'all know I always have the replay of the video available. It's pretty much available as soon as the live stream is over. So if you guys see somebody that hops in the chat and they're asking, hey, is there going to be a replay? Do me a favor, let them know, yes, there will be a replay available. Then, guys, do me a favor, if you can, please try to hold your questions until the end of the video. I'm going to have an actual question and answer session where I'm going to answer your questions. Then it helps me to stay focused if we do all of those at the end. Any of my students will tell you, guys, I talk. I'm wordy. So if you ask me a question in the middle of what I'm talking about, I will go off on a tangent and I will talk about that for forever. And I like to try to stay focused and get out all of the information that I'm trying to get out first. So if you can, please hold your questions until the end. And then as always, guys, I always try to stay on the topic. So if possible, please try to keep your questions on the topic of the video. In this video, we're talking about mistakes, all right? And then be aware I may not be able to answer all of the questions during the video, especially if you're watching this afterwards during the replay. But still, guys, go ahead, ask your question. If I miss your question or if you ask a question during the replay, I always go back and try to answer any questions that I missed or any questions that came in later. We had some other folks who jumped in as I was going through that. Excited to see all of you folks. And again, guys, as you are coming in, continue to let me know what city and state you are from and whether you are a new signing agent, an aspiring signing agent, or a veteran signing agent. Now, guys, as I'm going through this video, y'all know I always have good stuff for you. I got freebies for you. I got links to different videos and more information for you. And I always put all of that stuff in the description box of the video. But folks are always asking, well, where is the description box? So if you are watching this video on your laptop or desktop computer, if you look underneath the video, you're going to see the title of the video and then like one or two sentences. And at the end of that sentence, you are going to see the words show more. Click on the words show more to open up the description box. But maybe you're watching this on your cell phone, as a lot of us do. So if you're watching this on your cell phone, again, underneath the video, underneath the title of the video, you're going to see the word more. Click on the word more. A little bit of information is going to come up. But then at the end of that little bit of information, you're going to see the word more again. So you got to click more and then more. Got to click more twice. But once you do that, then whether you are on your computer or whether you are on your cell phone, the description box is going to open up. It's going to be a lot of stuff written there because, again, I told you guys, I'm wordy. I always got lots of stuff to say. But when you scroll through the description box, you are going to see different links. They're going to be highlighted in blue. You can click on those different links to see the different videos and download the different free things that I have for you there. And of course, the biggest thing that I always have available for everybody, absolutely for free, is my new signing agent checklist. Whether you are a new signing agent, an aspiring signing agent, or even a veteran signing agent, you will want to download this checklist. It tells you step by step the different things that you need to do to get started as a signing agent. That's always people's biggest questions. What do I need to do? Have I done this? Do I need to do that? I've got a checklist for you guys. And in that checklist, there's even links for things that you can click on to help you get started. So make sure you go down to the description box, click on the link to get your free new signing agent checklist. All right. All of that was just the intro. So now we are going to start talking about the mistake that cost me $31,500. So again, guys, when I was first thinking about this topic, I had not sat down and really calculated how much money I lost because of this mistake that I made. But as I was doing this, I started doing the math. And that's probably why I didn't do it, because I knew it was going to be a big, ugly number and I didn't want to see it. I started doing the math. And I figured out that because of this one mistake that I made, that I lost out on at least, probably more, because I was being conservative with my estimate. I lost out on at least $31,500. Now, you guys might be rich. I'm not rich. $31,500 is a lot of money to me. And when I figured out that that's how much that my mistake cost me, it honestly blew my mind. I'm going to show you guys the math. I'm going to show you the breakdown. And of course, I'm going to tell you what that mistake was. But before I tell you about that mistake, I'm going to go over some other common mistakes that I see new and even experienced signing agents make that can cost you time and money. Because here's the deal, guys. I don't want to just tell you about my one big mistake. I want to tell you about all of these other mistakes as well. Because trust me, any one of these mistakes that I'm going to tell you about, or a combination of these mistakes that I'm going to tell you about, can cost you tens of hundreds of thousands, tons, ridiculous amounts of money. And obviously, we want to make as much money as possible as signing agents. So I've kind of broken these mistakes down into 3 different categories. So the first category that I have for you guys is mistakes in running your business. Because here's the deal, guys. And the first bullet point that I have here is that you have to understand that being a signing agent means running a business. It is not a job. Has anybody ever heard people call being a signing agent a side hustle? Or do any of you guys call being a signing agent a side hustle? If you do me a favor, in the chat, say, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard it called a side hustle. Let me know. Do any of you consider this a side hustle? Have any of you heard being a signing agent is a side hustle? Any of that good stuff? Let me know down in the chat if that's something that you've heard or if that is something that you think. And then I'm going to tell you what my philosophy is on whether or not being a signing agent is a side hustle. So I've got a few people here who are saying it. Let's see. Yvette, yep, she's heard people call it a side hustle. Mildred says, yep, she's heard people call it a side hustle. And if you've watched some of my other video, guys, you know I do not consider being a signing agent a side hustle. It is a business. And if you go into this thinking of it as a side hustle, you're going to get side hustle results, right? Nothing wrong with side hustles. And I'm going to tell you what I consider a side hustle. So for me, a side hustle is maybe something simple where you don't necessarily have to get extra training to learn how to do it. So no disrespect to anybody that does DoorDash or Uber, right? I consider those side hustles because we already know how to drive a car. We all know how to go to a restaurant and pick up food and take it to someone else. So again, it's work. Don't get me wrong. It's work. Nothing wrong with it. I consider those side hustles, though. They're not necessarily a business because you're not having to really remake the wheel. You're not having to learn anything new to make money doing those things. Well, when you are a signing agent, it's a business. It's not a job. Basically, you are blazing your own path. You are the one who is creating the path that your business is going to take to be successful. Nobody can tell you exactly how your business needs to be run. You have to put in the extra energy to create and run your business versus having a job. Jobs are actually really easier, guys. And I know people are like, really? Yeah, having a job is easier because think about it. You have somebody telling you step by step exactly what to do. You don't have to spend any mental energy figuring out what to do. You have a boss. From the moment you get hired, you have a boss telling you exactly what to do. That's not how it works when you have a business. You have to put the mental energy in to figure out how to make your business successful. And honestly, that's one of the hardest parts for most people. So one of the biggest business mistakes you can make is not understanding that this is a business. It's not a job. Another business mistake that you can make is to focus on things that aren't important. I see a lot of people focusing a lot of energy on things that really aren't important, like a fancy business name. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with creating a fancy business name for your business. But I have seen people spend more time trying to figure out a fancy business name than they have training to be a good signing agent. That's not a good use of your time. Focusing on getting an LLC. I've got a video about this. Guys, 99.9% of y'all do not need an LLC to get started as a signing agent. It really only makes sense once you are making a certain amount of money. There's a lot of reporting, there's tax reports and all kinds of stuff you have to do when you have an LLC. And if your business isn't making money yet, that's extra work and extra reporting that you have to keep up with when you haven't even made a dime yet. Most people don't need an LLC. So stop focusing on things that aren't important yet. Once your business becomes successful, absolutely, those may be things that you can upgrade to, or those could be things that you can get, but don't focus on those things in the beginning. Another business mistake is not keeping your signing agent profiles updated. Everybody gets excited when they first become a signing agent. They're signing up with all these databases and signing services and all of that stuff. And then 6 months or a year in, maybe they've decided they don't want to do this anymore, or the time that they're available has changed, but they haven't updated those profiles. So then you get people contacting you, trying to hire you as a signing agent, and you're either not working as a signing agent anymore, or you're not available at those times. You got to keep your signing agent profiles updated. It looks really unprofessional when you don't do it. Then another business mistake is not answering your phone or not responding to emails. This is how people contact you to give you business, to give you money. They're going to call you, they're going to email you, they're going to text you. You got to respond back in order to get that work. And then in the same vein, not answering or responding professionally. Guys, answering your phone, hello, yeah, what you want? That's not professional. And I have had people, when I've been searching for a signing agent, answer their phone like that. It blows my mind. Another big business mistake that people make is not handling your bank accounts and taxes right from the start. I got a video, guys, where I tell you all my story about how I messed up taxes. Trust me, you do not want to do that. So you want to make sure that you handle all of these things for your business properly from the beginning. The next area of mistakes that I see people make is mistakes as a notary public. To be a signing agent, you have to be a commissioned notary public. And the biggest notary public mistakes that I see people make is not learning your state notary law. Guys, this is number one. You got to read and learn your state notary law. What ID is acceptable? That's probably one of the biggest things that you need to know for your state. You need to learn your state notary law. And then not just learn it, but you need to follow it. It doesn't do any good if you know the law, but then you don't follow your notary law. Another thing you need to do as a notary is properly verify identification. Again, every state has different requirements for what is proper identification. What I can accept in Texas may be different than what you can accept in your state. It's very important for you to know your state's notary law. Not requiring personal appearance. Anybody that you're notarizing a document for, guys, they have to personally appear in front of you. Not properly keeping a notary journal. Again, every state has different requirements as to whether or not you keep your journal in particular ways. You need to keep your journal in a way that is compliant with your state notary law. And look, even if your state does not require a journal, your journal protects you. And I would suggest, even if it's not required by your state, that you keep a journal. It will protect you if there's ever questions about a notarization that you did. Not filling out notary certificates properly. The number of people that I see in Facebook groups asking people how to fill out notary certificates blows my mind. Like, this is the basics of what you should know as a notary public. You shouldn't have to go to a Facebook group to ask how to do this. You should already know how to fill out a notary certificate. And then post-dating or pre-dating your notary certificates. Basically, putting a date either before or after the actual date of the notarization. You shouldn't be doing that. Not only is that a mistake, that's against the law. You don't want to break the law. So guys, make sure that you are not making any of these notary public mistakes. And then, of course, we've got mistakes as a signing agent because, yes, we are notaries public, but we are also signing agents. The biggest signing agent mistake that I see is people not following the instructions from the contracting company. People always ask, who's the contracting company? What's the contracting company? The contracting company is whoever contracted you or hired you to do that particular job. It could be a signing service, it could be a title company, it could be an attorney, it could be a real estate agent, it could be the lender, it could be the individuals signing the documents. But whoever hired you should have a set of instructions for you. Make sure you follow those instructions, even if their instructions seem silly, even if you don't agree with their instructions. As long as what they are asking you to do is not illegal, you need to follow their instructions. Again, I contract other signing agents to send signings to. And one of the easiest ways for me to decide that I am never going to use a signing agent again is if they don't follow my instructions. I don't need to explain why I want something done a particular way. I'm hiring you, I'm paying you, you should follow those instructions. So, guys, the easiest way to stay on a signing services or a contracting company's good side is to follow their instructions. Another mistake that signing agents make is showing up late. Guys, we got to be on time. This is another very, very easy way to avoid mistakes. Just show up on time. Then, obviously, big mistakes that you can make as a signing agent: missing signatures, initials, dates, or notarizations. I'll have people say to me sometimes, well, I just missed one signature or I just missed one initial. And in a package where there's maybe dozens or even 100 signatures or initials, just missing one may not seem like a big deal. But one missing signature or initial could hold up that entire transaction. It is a huge deal. So we cannot miss a single signature, initial, date, or notarization. You also need to make sure that you can give a good, brief description of the documents, but you don't want to talk too much. We want to make sure that we're getting these signings done in an appropriate amount of time, which is less than an hour. As a signing agent, we're never going to give our opinion or our advice. That is a mistake, and that's a great way to lose business. You never want to do that. And then not scanning the documents on time or not dropping the documents on time. That is another huge mistake that signing agents make. Guys, if a company asks for scan backs, scan. It may be a pain in the hiney, but they need those scan backs for a reason. And again, it's not up to us to decide if it's a good reason or not. If that's what they've hired us to do, then that's what we need to do. So, guys, all of those different mistakes that I've covered, I've got videos about them more in depth. And I encourage you guys to please check out each and every one of those videos, especially new and aspiring signing agents, because again, some things are mistakes that when you're new, you don't even know it's a mistake because you're new to this industry. You're new to this whole process. So check out these different videos that I have for you where I talk about all of these different mistakes in detail so that you don't make those mistakes. And of course, guys, I got links to all of those videos down in the description box. All right. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, at least I think y'all been waiting for it, is the mistake that cost me $31,500. Are you guys ready for that one? If you're ready for it, type "I'm ready" down in the chat. Because again, guys, literally for years, I have avoided, purposely avoided thinking about how much money this particular mistake cost me. And when I look back on it and I realize how simple it would have been for me to avoid this mistake, it makes me really want to, kind of kick myself. But the mistake that I made was negotiation. And I know you guys are like, what? What does that mean? What do you mean by negotiation? Negotiation. So, and that's really three parts to this. One, not knowing that I even could negotiate. And again, new and aspiring signing agents, you may not know this because again, we're used to having a job. And usually with a job, you're told what the salary is. You're told this is how much we're paying an hour. And then we, as the prospective employee, just kind of decide, okay, well, I'm willing to accept that or not. Well, it works a little bit different when you are self-employed, when you're a self-employed signing agent, when you have your own business, especially when you are working with direct business clients. You can negotiate your payment. I didn't know that when I was new. The next thing I did not know was how to negotiate. Because, okay, it sounds simple to say, well, you can negotiate. But if nobody's ever taught you how to negotiate, then you don't know how to negotiate, right? I didn't know. I did not know that I could negotiate. And then I did not know even how to negotiate. And even more than that, I was afraid to negotiate because I was thinking, probably like most of you think, if you're a new or aspiring signing agent, if I ask for too much money, then they're not going to hire me. I'm just going to lose all the money. So you're afraid to even negotiate at all. So, what is negotiation? Because it's kind of a big word and it freaks us out a little bit. Nobody likes to talk about negotiation. What is negotiation? Negotiation is just a discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. We negotiate with people all the time. When you talk to your friends and family and y'all have a difference of opinion on certain things that you need to come together and decide to do, you sit down, you talk about it, and you reach an agreement. That's negotiation. The problem is that most of us feel uncomfortable negotiating. Most of us feel uncomfortable asking for what we want. And a great example of that is buying cars. Anybody love going to a car dealership to buy a car? Most of us don't. And it's usually because there's a lot of negotiation. And that makes us feel uncomfortable. Most of us don't like negotiation. You may have a person here or there that loves the thrill of the negotiation, but most of us don't like it. So, for those of you who may not know, for those of you who are unaware, new and aspiring signing agents, no company is required to pay you a fair amount as a self-employed signing agent. You have to negotiate a fair payment. So again, I did not know this when I was new either. Again, I came in like everybody else. I was a signing agent. I was like, hey, I can do signings. And a signing service came to me and said, oh, we pay this amount. And I had no clue that negotiation was even a possibility or that it was on the table. And I just assumed that if that was what they were offering me, that it had to be fair. Nope. Not at all. None of these companies are required. There's no minimum wage. The government does not mandate a minimum amount that signing agents, self-employed signing agents get paid. We are independent contractors. It is up to us independently, one-on-one with whoever is going to contract us. It is up to us to negotiate a fair payment. So when I'm in all these different Facebook groups and that kind of stuff, and I see people complaining about signing services not paying a fair amount, I'm like, well, that's not their responsibility. It's our responsibility to not accept it if it is not fair, right? Because here's the bottom line. If nobody will accept their unfair amount, then they will have no choice but to increase it. Guys, signing agents not knowing how to negotiate and not knowing that you can negotiate is honestly part of the reason why the amounts that signing agents are getting paid has been going down, 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 down over the years. But all right, I'm going to tell you guys my actual story. So that chick on the screen right there with the dark hair, that's me. Back in 2008. I'm in my car, seatbelt on, driving to a signing. I was an excited new signing agent, just like most of you guys. So at that point, because I gotten started in 2007. So at that point, I was about a year in. So I was a new signing agent. I was about a year in. And I was offered a direct business opportunity. So, for those of you who don't know, direct business means that you are working directly with the people who are paying you. So, usually that's either the title company or an attorney. When you are working with a signing service, that is not direct business. The signing service is a middleman. So the title company pays the signing service, and then the signing service pays you a portion of what they are paid from the title company. When you are working with direct business clients, you are working directly with the title company or the attorney. And that generally means that you can make more money because you're not splitting the fee between you and the signing service. In theory, the full fee should come to you. So, I was offered a direct business opportunity in 2008. When they asked me how much I charged, I told them $75 because with this particular direct business client, they print out the documents. I don't have to print out the documents. And back in 2007, the amount that was normal for a signing agent was $100 if you had to print the documents, and it was normal to get paid $75 through a signing service if you did not have to print the document. So the company asked me, hey, how much do you charge? I told them $75 because I didn't know that I could negotiate. And they said, okay. And they accepted. But here's the deal. I didn't know that they would have been willing to pay me $100 or more per signing. The minimum that they would have been willing to pay would have been $100. They probably would have been willing to pay more than that. But when they asked me how much I wanted, I said $75. So of course, they didn't volunteer to pay me more because again, guys, it is not their responsibility to pay me a fair amount. It is my responsibility, our responsibility as the signing agents to negotiate for a fair amount. So from 2008 until 2015, 7 years, for 7 years, I did signings with that company and I was getting paid at least $25 less per signing than I could have gotten paid. So let's look at the math. This is the part I had been avoiding for years until I decided to make this video. And then, like I said, when I did the math, I just wanted to kick myself. So I averaged at that time about 15 signings a month for this company, right? 12 months in a year. So 15 times 12 is 180 signings a year. Again, we're talking about 7 years. So if you do 180 signings a year for 7 years, that is 1,260 signings. Here's the ugly part. When you multiply 1,260 signings times $25, you get $31,500. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money simply because I did not know that I couldn't negotiate and simply because I did not know how to negotiate. I'm not upset with the company. Again, they were doing their job. The job of their job was to find the best signing agent they could for the least amount of money. They did their job. My job was to ask for the amount that I wanted for a fair amount. You know, this was totally all on me. So now, for those of you that negotiation is now swimming around in your brain, because it totally should be, one of the things that I want to let you guys know is it is easier to negotiate in the beginning than it is to renegotiate later. And I know this kind of goes against our normal mindset because, again, we're used to having a job. And when you have a job, what do? They have periodic reviews, maybe every 6 months or once a year, you have a review. And if you're doing well on your review, you can normally expect to get a raise. That is not how it works when you are a self-employed signing agent. You can be doing the best job in the world. Pretty much no company is going to just volunteer to give you more money. Okay, you don't get periodic raises. All right. So now the other thing you have to realize is whatever amount you initially negotiate will probably be what you get paid with that company for some time. So as you saw in that example, the amount that they were paying me, they paid me that amount from 2008 until 2015, 7 years. And to blow your mind even further, I still work with that company to this day. Now, I've renegotiated and I'm getting paid what I consider a fair amount today, which is considerably more than the $75 that I negotiated with them back then. But for 7 years, what they were paying me is what I got paid because, again, they don't just give you reviews there unless there's a good reason for them to raise your fee. They're not just going to raise it, right? And then you're going to have to give a very good reason why that company should pay you more to do the exact same thing that they've been paying you less to do. So some transparency here. Again, I've been working with this company. It's 2023. I've been working with them since 2008. So 15 years I've been working with them. I have done two renegotiations with them, and each renegotiation was sticky. I don't want to say it was a battle, but it was sticky because of course they didn't want to pay more. And so we had to kind of go back and forth a little bit on, you know, me explaining to them why it was to their benefit for them to pay me more. And I also had to be willing to walk away from the business if they were not willing to pay me the higher amount. It was not fun. And again, this could have been avoided if or avoided for a while if I had just negotiated the correct amount ahead of time. So trust me, it is a heck of a lot easier to get paid a higher amount in the beginning than it is to do the job at a particular amount and then ask for more money later. Because here's the reality, guys. The company still has options. When you go in to renegotiate, they can decide, you know what? No, there's other signing agents out there that we like just as much as you, and they are willing to do it for less, or they're willing to do it for the amount that you're saying is no longer acceptable for you. So trust me, doing your negotiations in the beginning is absolutely better than trying to renegotiate later. Now, you can negotiate, but let me make you aware of these things. You, first of all, guys, have to have something that the other party wants in order to successfully negotiate. So what does that mean for signing agents? You have to be very good. If you are just an average signing agent, if you are a below average signing agent, you don't have any leverage, okay? You don't have anything worth negotiating for. The first and most important thing that you have to be successful in negotiations is you have to be very good, not just average. Average signing agents are a dime a dozen. Anybody can get an average signing agent. Definitely not below average. You can throw a rock out your front door and hit a below average signing agent. You have to be very good. So I actually have a video about what's a very good signing agent, but some of the bullet points on that is you have to be reliable and dependable. You got to be on time. They have to know that you're going to show up when and where you're supposed to be every single time without fail. Guys, I've made it to signings on time through flash floods here in San Antonio. You know, the company that hires me knows I'm going to be there on time, pretty much regardless of what's going on. You need to be error-free. Like I was talking about earlier, guys, missing one signature or one initial or one date doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is. And just missing that one signature, initial, or date can cause you to not have the leverage that you need to negotiate. I can't even remember, legitimately, I'm not exaggerating, I cannot remember the last error that I made on a signing. I am error free. Okay. You got to be able to give a good description of the documents, right? You have to be able to point out the most common questions in the documents. So if a signer asks what their interest rate is, you need to be able to point it out. If they ask what their payment is, you need to be able to point it out. If signers have questions that you should be able to answer in the documents, but you're not able to answer them, then you're not a good signing agent because you're causing more work for someone else. And you have to be able to get through a signing in less than an hour. Not so good signing agents will say all day long that that's impossible. It's not. I do it all day long, twice on Sundays. Every single signing that I do, barring something like the signer having a physical difficulty, like I've had signers who had previously had strokes or, other physical problems where they simply can't write that fast. Barring those types of issues, every signing that I do gets done in 30 minutes or less. I'm like a pizza delivery person. The signing is done in 30 minutes or less. And that is still giving them an excellent description of the documents. Every real estate agent that sits in on one of my signings is like, oh my God, this is the best description of the documents that I've ever heard. So this is not shortchanging them in any way. This is not rushing them through the documents. I'm just very good at giving a good description of the documents. So to successfully negotiate, guys, you have to be very good. Now, some other things I want you to realize about negotiation. You are allowed to negotiate. It's okay to negotiate. You cannot be afraid to negotiate. Now, I will say it is easier to negotiate with direct business companies than it is with signing services, but honestly, you can negotiate with either. You cannot be afraid to ask because, again, negotiation is just a discussion. And the discussion isn't necessarily over if the company doesn't like your first offer. So if you're negotiating with a company, you can't feel like, oh, if I tell them this amount, then they're not going to use me. They're just going to tell me no. Well, the discussion isn't necessarily over. They may say, we can't do that amount, but guess what? The conversation can still continue. All right. So don't think that if the amount that you want is initially turned down, that things are over. The negotiation ain't over yet. And negotiation does not have to be confrontational. It doesn't have to be difficult. Again, people are afraid of it because they feel like it's going to be some sort of confrontation. It does not have to be confrontational. And you can actually very easily negotiate with just a few simple sentences. Like most of the things that I've done over the years of being a signing agent, I have distilled negotiation down into a few simple, non-confrontational sentences. And I know you guys are like, well, what are those sentences? Well, guys, look, I only tell those sentences to my students. And here's the reason why, because again, first, you have to be a very good signing agent. I don't want to tell people, okay, do this or say this for them to try to negotiate and it doesn't work, but it doesn't work because they're not good signing agents, right? It's not that what I'm telling you doesn't work. It's just that you don't have what the company wants. You have to first be a very good signing agent. So again, I know people are like, I don't want to pay for training. I can get everything I need on YouTube and Google and all this stuff. You can get a lot of information out there. There's a lot of stuff out there, but guys, I'm telling you, you need a good mentor and you need good training. If I had a good mentor, then I would have been $31,500 richer because my mentor would have told me, this is how to handle this. This is how to negotiate. Signing agents that I have trained, that I have mentored from day one have gone out and successfully negotiated for higher amounts because they can prove that they know what they're doing on signings and they know the 2 or 3 simple, easy sentences to say to make negotiation easy to get the highest amount possible. So if you guys are interested in training, click the link down in the description box for my Signing Agent Advanced training program. But now, guys, that's my story. The sad sad story of how I lost out on $31,500. Like I said, it's probably more than that because, like I said, I didn't do exact numbers. I used averages. I can tell you now, I do more than 15 signings a month on average for that company. So, again, it's probably more than that. And then, like I said, over the years, the amount that they were willing to pay went up. So I was probably losing out on more than $25 per signing, but I just left it at that number. And that number was bad enough. It was pretty ugly. But guys, this is the time for you. If y'all have any questions about mistakes as a signing agent, mistakes as a notary public, mistakes that you might be making in your business, if you've got any other questions about negotiation, this is the time. I am here for you. And of course, guys, if you've got any questions about how to become a signing agent, I am here to answer those questions. Let me scroll up through these comments, see if I missed something here. Oh, yeah, Yvette made this comment. I love it. Back when I was talking about the difference between side hustle and a business and why I don't consider being a signing agent a side hustle. Because if you consider this a side hustle, like Yvette says, you gonna get side hustle money. I want business hustle money. Thank you, Yvette. That is exactly it. I don't want side hustle money, right? I want to make the most money possible for each signing. I'm going to run my business like a business, and then I expect to get business money. Awesome. Let's see. What does Terry have here? See, in my mind, I'm a contractor, not an employee of signing companies. Exactly. This is the difference between having a business and having a job. When a contracting company contracts you, you don't work for them. They are just paying you to do one particular job, but we're not employees of theirs, and it's not their job to teach us and train us. A lot of new signing agents, I'll hear a lot of times signing agents be like, well, how do I know I did a good job? Well, will they tell me what I did wrong? No, not necessarily. One of two things will happen. If you did a good job, you will hear back from them. They will call you to do more signings for them. If you did a bad job, you're not going to hear nothing from them. They're not going to call you to do any more business. I have never had a company tell me, oh my gosh, you were fabulous, you did a great job, and then not send me more business. The way you know you're doing a good job is because you are getting more business. So that is awesome. Another thing Miss Yvette said, yep, you got to be very good, not below average. And again, guys, I know not everybody wants to hear that because a lot of people want to put in side hustle effort. They just want to get their notary stamp. They don't want to invest in any time or training. And then they end up being below average and not understanding why they're not making money and why they're not getting the business, because this is a business and you have to put in the time and the effort to get very good at this and grow your business so that you can continue to do this for 16 years if that's something that you want to do. I've been a full-time self-employed signing agent for 16 years, guys. It is absolutely possible. Let's see. Here's a question from Yolanda. If you get direct business, do you always have to be available when they need you? Absolutely not. Now, obviously, the more that you can be available when they need you, the better. But no, you do not have to be 100% at their beck and call. So again, same direct business company that I've been with since 2008. Occasionally I have conflicts and I can't do their signing, and I may not have somebody else, another signing agent available to subcontract to do their signing. So occasionally I do have to tell them I'm not available. None of my team are available. You're going to have to find another signing agent for this one. That's maybe less than 5% of the time. So maybe every 100 requests that they send me, less than 5 of those requests I'm not able to do or I'm not able to get covered. So no, you don't always have to be available, but it is best for you to be available most of the time, because what you want is for them to get used to and to get comfortable with just calling you, right? We want to make things easy. When things are easy for us, we continue to use those things. When things are easy, we don't look anywhere else, right? Because here's the deal, when you're not available and they do have to get another signing agent, that's an opportunity for a very good signing agent to come in and snake your business. All right. That's an opportunity for them to come in and maybe show that they're better than you. So you don't have to, but this is business. All right. So you want to be as available as much as possible. And then Rod, do I get pushback from contractors from using Adobe or Foxit to pre-fill out notarial certificates? Not really. I can only think of one company or one signing out of the literal thousands of signings that I've done since 2008. There was only one company that was not okay with me typing in pre-filling the notarial certificates. I did have to go back out and get those documents re-notarized because they did want it handwritten. But again, that's one out of literal tens of thousands of signings that I've done. This is why it's also important to always read the contracting company's instructions to see if in their instructions they say, hey, we don't want you to type out information in your notarial certificate. We want you to handwrite it. Follow their instructions. And then always, when in doubt, ask. The only way to know for sure what any one particular company wants is to ask them. So if you get a request from a company that you haven't worked with before and you want to type your information in the notarial certificates, ask them, hey, do y'all have a problem if I do this? And they will tell you yes or no. But no, I do not. Like I said, one company out of thousands, I don't consider that a big deal. Let's see. When my students from my signing agent advanced training program receive their certificate of completion, does the course remain open for them to review the information? Absolutely. Access to the course information never expires. And then if you are either one of my elite students or exclusive students, those are my top two levels, not only do you have access to the course information forever, you got access to me forever. I do monthly live Q&A sessions for my elite and exclusive students. Any of those students, no matter how long they've been a student, can come in and join those live Q&As. Any of those elite or exclusive students can email me at any time for help. Any of those elite and exclusive students can message me in our private Facebook group for help. So note, the access to the training never, ever expires. All right, let me think. Let me go scroll back up. I think that is all of the questions. If you got one, put it in there now. Put it in there now. I'm going to scroll back up and look though. But guys, hopefully this video has helped you to understand about negotiation, helped you to understand that you can negotiate. Like I said, that was a revelation for me. That might be a revelation for some of y'all. You can negotiate your payment as a signing agent. And hopefully this helps you to understand how important negotiating is for your income as a signing agent. You guys know the drill. I'm going to be back next month with another live on another topic. If you guys have a particular topic that you want me to talk about, do me a favor, put it down in the chat, whether you are watching live or whether you are watching the replay. And as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love doing these live sessions with y'all. I love sharing this information with you guys. It's always fun, exciting for me. So I hope it's the same way for you. But guys, look, that's all I've got for you today. Do me a favor though, again, before we leave, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. This is Kendra with Signing Agent Basics, hoping that you have a productive and profitable day. Bye, guys.